Folks, we just did a trade deal for the most expensive N64 cartridge in existence. I had this bad boy just sitting up here on our little trophy shelf. Most of this stuff up here is like items that we've gotten in like packages from viewers just as little gifts and stuff like that. But this was a part of a complete N64 collection that I bought a while back. Couldn't sell it on Amazon, obviously, something as high dollar like this. We're not really doing eBay anymore, and less whatnot. So this thing has just stuck with me. And I was actually holding it because a fellow YouTube reseller, Kreesky, shout out to Kreesky, I knew was doing an N64 collection series, and he didn't have this one yet, but he actually referred another person to me to potentially trade this, and they sent in this box of stuff. We actually did a deal that was part cash and part trade, so I just figured this is kind of an interesting deal. I'll go ahead and unbox this here for you guys. And we'll see what the heck we get. This is like $400 and something worth of trade value. Pricing something like this is pretty tough. The listings are anywhere between like $1,100 and $1,500 depending on the condition. So the condition on this one is really good. So I went ahead and said, you know what, if it's half trade, half cash, why don't we value it at $1,000? That seems pretty fair. And this is what he sent as far as the trade value. I feel like that's a fair price. Let me know in the comments if you guys think that's not fair enough. I honestly wouldn't have done, I wouldn't have done half trade, half cash. Like, if the valuation is 10% under the lowest competition or so, I'd normally like to just be at cash because it's easier. But almost all this stuff is also on our buy list, which is excellent, or rather on quick flips. So we'll end up being able to make a little bit more than like the standard market value on these. We've got multiple copies of DK64 here. The other thing that I wanted to do in this video is give you guys a little bit of an update because this is being shot and uploaded just a couple days after the launch of OneUp, which has been a crazy process, tons of work. And I think people, at least some people, maybe a few of you guys, are just interested in like how it has panned out. We beta tested it for, I don't know, like 3-4 weeks before publicly launching, when the public video about the process came out on the channel. These are a couple of Joy-Con sets that are apparently driftless and nice. We've actually got a friend who is looking for some new Joy-Cons because hers are drifting right now. So some of these will be gifts. These will be, I think we might just keep these on hand to potentially pair with a console that we get in that needs some. We'll see. I feel like there have been multiple times I've wanted some Joy-Cons around the business. Also have a few 4 expansion packs for the N64. These are all nice and official. I think we're paying maybe $27 for these on quick flips, if I'm not mistaken. And another 2DS here. So yeah, the last couple weeks have been super hectic here around the Phoenix resale homestead. So I pulled up a few comments that I have here on that video that was just posted a couple days ago. And we're going to go through them and just kind of talk about how that process has gone. Let's check the disc condition. Love seeing these AAA Wii titles. They sell incredibly fast for us. Just can't keep them in stock, so we pay super well for these. Wii Sports Resort, Mario Galaxy 2, Mario Kart. And then we also have a couple of boxes here of games that are just regular quick flips batches that are some of the first that we've gotten since the actual publication, since the actual launch of OneUp. Oh man, here's a little peek here. This is from our friend Tom, who sends us all kinds of stuff. Although it looks like, this is part of what I was curious about, looks like there is some modification on here, which tells me there may still be something, there are still a few wrinkles to work out of this program, which is part of the reason that I didn't put a ton into a massive marketing blast right up front. I like the idea, the vision better for OneUp of slow, steady growth. But let's see what some of this reception has been. First guy says, congrats on the app. I wanted to ask if there are any plans to put regional variations of games. And we've had a lot of questions like that by people saying, hey, like I live in Europe, will this apply to me? Hey, I live in, Central America, can we send you games as well? Blah, blah, blah. And the answer is, for North America, yes, it will apply and you can send us stuff. We don't currently have currency conversions, but as long as you can do that on your end, if you're in Canada and Mexico and whatever, as long as the games you're sending us are NTSC, you're good and our prices will apply. But for the other regions, right now we've limited the data that we're pulling to like just NTSC stuff to try to like focus on the North American market. It's possible maybe we'll add back in like just general like price checking and collection tracking and stuff like that for other regions. I have noticed already that for some of my Switch collection, if they're like strictly limited games or things like that are region free but based in Europe, some of those aren't showing up. So it may be in our best interest to expand that data set anyway. Let's go ahead and get into, now that we have this a little bit more organized over here. Okay, so what he's saying on this is that this is one thing that we've had to slowly correct. Apparently there's a price difference between 007 Agent Under Fire in Quick Flips and on our old spreadsheet buy list program. He's saying it was 12 on there and is saying, hey, let's just update that total to be $6 more. So this is something that we'll either have to, one way or the other, either change the price back in the old system or update the price to be higher in our current system. Hopefully that's what we can do because we like having our prices as high as possible so that people love selling stuff to us. This is also another little glitchy thing that I'm noticing at the moment. This, I thought we had this resolved too. When was this made? Oh, okay, this was actually submitted like 10 or so days ago. I think this glitch has since been fixed, but you can see the total is overlapping with the actual columns of all the games. These are just some of the lovely little issues that you have to deal with when you're trying to get something made. Oh, this is cool. He also has his own little spreadsheet system that he attached. Tom is a very organized Quick Flips partner, let me tell you. How often do you think he submits to us?
Every other week at least.
Yeah, probably. Very consistent. So Tom, shout out to you. We appreciate you. Let's take a look at the quality here. This is a little real-time audit for you guys of Tom's submission. We normally don't have to do much in the way of like cleaning or deductions or anything for his, right? They're normally pretty clean. A lot of people, we massively increased our price for Super Mario 64. I think right now we're paying $40 for it, which is kind of crazy. Can't guarantee that that'll always be the case, but a lot of people have been sending us a bunch of those. Our prices on Super Nintendo controllers are also really excellent. But yeah, this stuff, like, it's packed well. It's got enough. This is a big thing, like having a layer of packing material all around the games. Like, a lot of people will focus on the individual games, but in reality, like, having a layer to prevent from crushing on the outside is probably the biggest thing to keep your games safe when you're packing a bunch of them. Let's see, though, if any of them have, like, chips or cracks or, yeah, the outsides of them are looking pretty good. Well done here, Tom. In the condition, like, we're seeing no stickers, no marker, no water damage. Those are the biggest things that will force us to sometimes, like, throw it in a replacement case, which is something that we have to deduct for unless it's, like one in a batch of 20 plus. Then we usually won't worry about it. Let's hear another comment here on the launch video. This guy says, $25 a month for the privilege of selling to you, laughing face. And you're just using info from price charting. What was the last? What's the point? What's the point is the question. And I addressed that for probably 7 or 8 minutes in the video. He must not have gotten to that point. But I'll tell you the point. Because for video game resellers, I'm guessing this guy is not one of us. A lot of us who watch this channel, we know what's up. But for not just video game resellers, but resellers of any kind, everybody loves to hunt, right? We all love the buying process of like going and finding collections or deals on Facebook Marketplace or going out to the pawns and finding stuff that's underpriced, doing bulk deals, that kind of stuff. Most people hate listing. and customer service and shipping individual items. Most people would say that at least some part of that is the most tedious part of their job. There's, return scams and fraudulent buyers and little item details that if you forget, it can cause your listing to sit forever, and platforms raising selling fees. All of those problems are what we're looking to solve with the Quick Flips program, so that now Tom, for all these games, doesn't have to deal with all of those list of issues. He can not only sell them conveniently all in one place to a consistent and trustworthy buyer and get paid the next week, which helps tremendously for cash flow, but at this point, he's also probably very close to unlocking a free year of membership, because we put that program in place for our regular submitters to earn basically free access for a lifetime to the app. This batch alone is $700. He submits one of these, like Spanky said, every couple weeks. So it'll be a matter of a couple months before he has a free year. And then in that year, he'll unlock a free lifetime membership. And that's really what we want. We're not looking to charge our regular partners as much as possible. Ooh, that's close. Oh, man. This little guy was tucked right in a corner. It's so easy to miss this kind of stuff. That's part of the reason, we have to pay really close attention to these invoices. Because this little guy, let's see, anything else? I don't think so. That wouldn't be the first time. We've had little...
I've thrown away Pokemon games before.
Yeah, we found Pokemon Emerald wrapped up in a bunch of bubble wrap. It's scary. I don't even want to know how many we've actually thrown away. I don't think it's that many, but either way it would upset me. We do a pretty good job of checking all our packing material. So anyway, to Freddie Navidi, that's the point. And the long-term vision for the app is for video game resellers to not just be able to sell the 1,000 or so very common AAA games that we buy through OneUp, but be able to sell way more and more and more games, so that eventually the majority of stuff that you're buying in any given collection can be sold just hassle-free on OneUp. It won't be right now, we're paying on a lot of stuff, 80, 90, sometimes over 100% of price charting value on some of these games. I don't anticipate it'll be able to do that at scale, but I do anticipate that we will be able to put some infrastructure in place so that not only are we offering really competitive rates on way more items, for example, consoles and accessories are very high on our list to add, but also some sort of infrastructure where you can just send a picture of anything else that you might want to sell that's not on our list and get a quote, hopefully same day, and suddenly you don't even have to worry about eBay or Amazon or Mercari to resell your games. You can just get a very fair price and only worry about finding new games, finding more inventory as your primary business model, and then just selling everything through OneUp. It won't all be to us. We would have to add other buying partners in order to do that. But that's the point. We'll see how long it takes us to actually achieve that vision and to get there. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I just realized I don't want to mix and mingle these batches, because that would be very confusing when we're trying to actually vet these and get people paid. We have, wait, who did this? I think this was over here. Yeah. And then this stuff was over here with the Sculptor's Cut trade deal. Here we go. Let's read another comment. I liked this video. I'm not a reseller and have grown out of gaming, but I managed to watch this entire video out of sheer interest. Let's go. Thank you so much, this user's called 4575. That's what I was hoping for out of this video, honestly, so I'm thrilled to hear that. That's a crazy price to pay, my man. I would say the two primary reservations that people had with the launch of OneUp, it was kind of equally split. One category saying, how in the world are you charging people for this? You're crazy, what's the point? That guy. And then the other half saying, how did you pay so much for this? I can't believe you spent over $100,000 and for this. And I think both categories are probably not in those respective spaces. Like, before starting this process, I probably would have said, whoa, 100K for an app, that's crazy. But as soon as I started doing research into what it actually costs to get this stuff done well, I realized, 100K is not crazy. And most of the quotes that I got were not far from that range. And the people in the space who I've talked to who have also done things like this are like, yeah, you can get it done for a lot cheaper, but you can't get it done well for a lot cheaper. Looks like we've got a lovely little eclectic mix here. Some GameCube titles, which if you pan down, our GameCube shelf is dangerously close to full right now, so we'll have to get on that. Donkey Konga, Cars, Mario Golf, Mario Power Tennis, Guitar Hero 2. Love to see it. All solid. Some of these do need a little bit of a wipe. This is from another very regular submitter, Julio. So appreciate you, Julio. I don't think any of this is like, if we get a batch in that is like notably grubby and like has visual residue and dirt and stuff like that, that might be something that we'll like, try to remind people of. And if it's really bad, we'll, make a deduction for the amount of time that we have to spend cleaning it. As long as it's reasonable, it's a quick wipe down, then, for the most part, we don't worry about that. But if you're listening and considering submitting batches, we definitely worry about it, and please send us very clean games because we will love you forever. And sometimes send you little bonuses. These are the remaining games in that batch. Looks like most of them are nice and complete, but one thing that, this one, so this is missing manual. Huge upgrade in the quick flip system from the previous buy list system is now we have prices on missing manual stuff. So a lot of people, like, they've been able to send us...
And loose.
And loose when it's DS games. DS and 3DS. We don't take loose disc games just yet. So it's effectively doubled the number of games that some of our regular partners are able to send to us because they were getting a lot of stuff in that doesn't have manual, because a lot of old games don't have manuals. This one does, so it's not a good example. So that's been a really solid, like, little quality of life upgrade for folks. And we also love being able to get more stuff in as well. What else? No, this guy, so this is actually a comment about the video itself. He says, only 25K views. The work to view ratio is not good on this one. Sorry, guys. And I have to be honest, Majugli ASMR. How can you even say that with a straight face? I have to be honest, Majugli. I kind of feel the same way. This video is an hour long that we just posted Sunday. It's called The Brutal Reality of Making a Reseller App or something like that. And it has been the most expensive video I've ever made, at least in terms of editing costs, because it took Editor Riff basically a whole business week to put the thing together, and it took us a month and a half to film it. And then, more post-production time after that. So it was a very costly video. I honestly thought that at this point it'd probably be at more like 50K. So this is my worst performing video in probably years, I have to be honest. I knew going in, like, this is a video that's about making an app when most of my channel is about buying and selling video games. So this is definitely going to underperform. It's not going to be a high view generator. I didn't think it'd be this bad though. But what I'm reminding myself of is that, like, one, at this point, like 4 years ago, I was probably getting 500 views a video. And so I tried to take a step back and realize, hold on, like 25,000 people, that's still a lot of people. And also, like, regardless of the actual outcome of that video, like, I really wanted to have that phase of the journey of making an app documented in a meaningful and impactful way, because just on a personal note, it's something that I want to be able to look back on and be reminded of what it was really like. So I'm glad that it's out there, and I'm glad that in terms of, like, actual numbers of like what the app has done since then, we have 20 something new paid users and 2,000 like free tier users who have just made an account, and maybe they're like looking up market values, or they're tracking their collection, or you know, things like that. So that's a pretty serious win for me. At this point, that makes like 170 or something total like quick flips users, but a lot of those are still trialing from the beta period, so they're not actually paying anything yet. Some of those won't ever pay anything because they've already hit the free membership submission, blah 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 blah. But this is the last thing I wanted to show you guys. We've got the lights on dim so that it's not just you know, penetrating me roughly from above. But this has actually been a really solid week of submissions, either through the old buy list system or through quick flips. We're now kind of running them simultaneously, and it does take a lot more work on the back end, but the plus side is, like, so you can see all of this stuff is like PS2 stuff that is prepped. Some of this has already gone out the door, hasn't it? Some of the PS2. Oh, it's here. Nice. And then, yeah, we still have like fairly full shelves of 360 and our small but mighty GameCube section. Look at this, is I think our most submitted GameCube game because our price is really good. Good old Zelda Wind Waker. We've got like 7 of those right now. So on the whole, I don't know yet what impact like the app itself is going to have on the amount of submissions that we're getting, or the, you know, quantity, the volume of product that we're able to move. But I do want to keep you guys updated as this process continues, and hopefully just continue to be honest about where I am with everything. That's really the biggest goal of this channel, of the main channel, is to give people an honest look at what it really looks like to build a resale business or a YouTube channel or now an app, and hopefully keep you guys entertained and informed, and maybe, if we're lucky, every once in a while inspired along the way. So appreciate you guys all sticking with us this long.